could describe my passion as a compulsion, I guess. You know, it's like eating and breathing. It's kind of something that is very natural. My mum, she used to draw and paint around the house a lot, and I was always drawing. And when I was at school, yeah, I used to do drawings and then sell them on to the other kids for a bit of money. Go buy comics. My name is Mark Weatherhead. I'm from Shrewsbury, Shropshire in the UK. When you learn tattooing and you're being like either an apprentice or and mentored by an artist, especially someone of Tommy's caliber, you definitely sort of, it's almost like a bit like Star Wars and the Padawan thing.
I just saw his portfolio, he brought it with him and he showed it to me, and I'm like, it was exceptional. And I said, like, you have to tattoo. And Mark just worked and worked and worked. He moved to Germany and it was just unbelievable. I never saw something like that. I never wanted to open a studio in Europe, but I wanted to give Mark a place to learn. So the only solution was I open a studio so he has a place and I can mentor him.
My journey has gone from my hometown to Germany, back here, but also I went to Germany, learned from Tommy, and now Tommy's come back here as well with me, so it's kind of like this weird spiral. Well, I always wanted to have my own studio, so it was just a case of where and when. I've been very lucky that I've been very supported with all my decisions through my friends.
You kind of never know what you're going to get with Mark from day to day. Me creatively crossing over from a commercial designer to an artist, it's just been a roller coaster. So working with Mark is inspirational for many reasons. One is creativity. Secondly, I think is empathy, just as a person.
He understands that for me, with all my curios, it's not a case of putting a product on a shelf. You want it to be almost as if someone has walked back 100 years in time.
I spent 3 years at university working with human remains, learning how the bones all basically sit together. So Curiosities definitely are my passion.
I trained 5 years ago with 𝖕𝖆𝖙𝖙𝖔𝖚, and then ever since I've just been practicing and sort of finding my own way, really. I like to work with Mark because of the space that he's created here. It has a nice energy.
In my jewelry I often use teeth from animals, monkey, dog, whatever I find, I get them cast and I like to put them in my jewelry. And I'm fascinated by death.
For sure, we are freaks in the best possible way, you know? It's a really, really nice community of little freaks and artists that just work together and love to work with each other.
When you've got an old building that's got old witches' marks and it's had a lot of people come in and out over the years, it's going to pick up something.
I think the vibe that we created here from the building and the fabric of the building, it is a sanctuary for creativity. It's where we all come to let loose.
It's a space for the people who don't normally fit in.
Regardless of whether they're covered in facial tattoos or they've got, I don't know, bright green hair or whatever it is that they use to identify themselves, as long as they feel that they are accepted within these walls, that's what we aim for, and that is so important, because if you can't allow someone to be themselves in an artistic environment, where can you be yourself?
What does creativity mean for me? It's putting energy out there. It's an expression of either emotion or an idea or a thought. I really enjoy that when a customer gives you a good idea but lets you run with it. That is the best. Horror tattooing and surrealist, sort of dark surrealist work. That's my favourite kind of pieces to work on. There's always been people who do that for many years, you know. It's I think in just modern days we're kind of like sheltered from it a little bit.
But can you change your perspective towards death? I mean, it's the great unknown, isn't it? Being surrounded by death is something we will have to learn to accept.
You know, time's running out for everything, and I just see the beauty in these dead things and everything, because as said, it just enforces life even more, how important it is. letting the inner demons out. This is one part also, like this, like pain, psychological pain. Just letting it out, to release it onto another medium, so you can actually deal with it from the outside.
I don't know of any creative individual who hasn't seen the dark side. But the beauty in this day and age is the fact that we are talking about it more. We are all openly admitting that we have issues.
A lot of people say scared of, you know, the darker side of life, whereas I think here we allow people to see the beauty of the darker side of things.
Obviously there are elements of death all among the curiosities, which is important because I think people need to use death as their advisor more, because it makes you live more in the present moment and not take things for granted. However, I think it's quite a happy and lovely place to work from. It's not like a sorrowful place.
I love coming here. The crossover, the skills, the things that I learn from people like Tommy and Mark, I'm like a sponge, so I'll take that all day.
I have no idea what is in line in future for my curiosities and One for Sorrow. This could be something that lasts forever.
I just wish, and I know that this One for Sorrow will be huge. It will be a huge thing. It opens up a complete new journey for me.
There's no way I could go back to a normal job not after doing this. No.
I hope this project is going to last at least forever.
We've got a very unique space here, and I think it needs nurturing. It needs that sort of, for a place that's filled with a lot of dead things, it needs a lot of life.